Well, now I'm going to show you the share feature of Google Docs, and this blue box up here says share. If I click it, it says the document is currently private to me only. So if I click on that again, I could decide to get a shareable link and send that link to as many people as I like. They would then be able to access and edit the document if I give them permission. Alternatively, I can enter specific people into the document. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you this little drop-down box here, which is where you can decide whether people you share with can edit or comment on your document or simply view it. And the other thing I'm going to do is show you this advanced feature, which opens up a number of other options and displays more information about my document. So here we are. At the moment, it's private only to me, and I can change that here. You'll see who has access because they'll be listed here. Up here is the link to share with others if I need to do that. Okay, well, I'm going to invite a couple of people to work with me on this document. So I'll just pause while I enter some emails. So you'll see I've added 2 collaborators, and before I click send, I have the option here to add a message if I want to, and to send a copy to myself if I want to. Okay, I'm going to click send. And now you'll see the screen has changed so that I can see the list of collaborators down here. Just check their permissions. They can edit as I requested, and it'll be the same one here. It'll show me here as the owner. Now all I have to do is to click done, and there we are, back to my document. Okay, well, when I go up here, I'll now see that my document is shared with 2 people, and I know who they are. Well, I'm just going to log into one of the accounts who I invited to be a collaborator with me. While I do that, I'll just pause the video. I've now logged into that other account here, which I called Lloyd Shorthair, after my cat, who's called Lloyd, and he's a short-haired cat. Here's the email, and if I look at the message here, I see Jay's Docs demo there. If I click on that, it's going to take me directly into that document that I shared as the original me. Several things have happened. I'm logged in as Lloyd Shorthair, and any entry I make will have a pink cursor. If you remember, my original account, J Online, was a green cursor. So at any time, we know who's entering text into the document. You'll also see up here that I can see who's collaborating on the document at any particular time. And whilst I'm here, if I click this little icon here, it opens a chat box. And there are 2 of us in this conversation, and we can simply enter messages here, hit enter, and up comes the message. So we can chat about what we want to include in the document. The other feature of Docs to note is this little pencil up here, and if I click that, it allows me to choose my mode of entering text. If I want to be in edit mode, anything I write in that document becomes permanent unless I delete it. But there's also something called suggesting mode. If I click on that, this turns green, and anything I write in there is a suggestion. So if I write labour market trends, Brexit, it shows as the collaborator entering that text, but it's not yet permanent until somebody has agreed it. So in this box here, people can reply to my posting, and it's not permanent, as I say, until somebody agrees it. And I'll show you how that works when I go back to the other account. Stay with me here. I've gone back to my original account, the creator or owner of the document, and I can see Lloyd Shorthair's suggestion here. It's Brexit, and it's in pink. Now, I could either add Brexit, or I can come up here and I can either accept the suggestion or I can reject the suggestion. If I wanted to put in a comment before I make my decision, I could write, "Is this a trend?" rather than a phenomenon. So I'm looking for trends here. So Brexit, I don't think it's a trend. And I've said that to Lloyd Shorthair, and I can reply. And it shows there exactly what I've done. Lloyd can reply to me, and then at the end of it, if we agree, we can accept that suggestion. The green suggestion mode goes away, and that has now become an agreed and permanent part of the document. Not to say you can't delete it, but it's now in there as an agreed feature. Well, you get the idea. And if I just come down now to this second box here, I've just typed in there, I don't know much about dismissal in the chat box. And I just hit enter, and that goes up there into the chat box. Jay Glover saying, I don't know much about dismissal. Incidentally, note that we can see who's made those comments. Well, never fear, Jay Glover, because there is here a link to dismissal and reasons for fair and unfair dismissal. Once we are suitably informed, we can then go on to complete the document. And then, of course, once it's done, this can be a permanent record of our interaction and our collaboration, and I can decide to make a copy of this, to download it as a Word document if I so wish, or to print it. And those are the options, really useful options to keep a record of that collaboration in Google Documents. Now, of course, collaboration doesn't have to be in real time, just between Lloyd Shorthair and Jay Glover. You'll note that Tristan Callahan hasn't yet joined the conversation, but when he does, and if he does, then he'll see this document as it currently stands, and will be able to make comments, make suggestions, and add his own ideas to our collaborative document created and shared with Google Docs, a really very powerful tool in the classroom and outside.